Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of FSEconomy with me, Mihur37. So I was looking around for some places to fly, and actually I got a message today from one of the subs, Nick Olson. He told me that there was a bunch of jobs over here at KOVL, that I should check that out. And I'm glad I did come over here because one of them had the Beechcraft King Air 350. There was a bunch of jobs, but really the King Air was the only one that can handle much of all the planes that were there. So we got the King Air 350. This one is from Carenado. I have not flown that for a good while, actually, and I've got the procedures and everything for it. They're kind of extensive. I'll probably screw up some at the beginning. There's some buttons and switches I couldn't quite find, so we'll skip through that, some of that. And alright, so I'm just kind of looking here. Now we can hold 14 people. We've got 12. It actually pays $9,999, so one short of 10 grand. I'm sure they'll take a lot of that away with fees and everything. As you can see, it's expensive to rent as well, $898 an hour. There's also a penalty. This thing I think is from Australia or something. Let me see where this plane is from. Because I think it tells you where it is from. Tag on it. But it was Y something, so I'm thinking maybe this thing's from Australia. I don't know if you can actually fly it that far. Yeah, YBTH, so I'm not quite sure. So I think we should get a little credit for that, for taking it to the west. Because we're going from KOVL in Olivia, Minnesota, over to KASY, which is in Ashley, North Dakota. About 197 nautical miles. And let's see, let's take another look at this plane. It's got 69% full of fuel. Oh, there it went. So it actually has 15 seats. I think maybe that's because you can take 14 passengers plus me, I guess. Alright, but it uses 112 an hour, so it's got 375. So we got way more than enough fuel that we actually need, as it cruises about 248 knots. So maybe an hour or so in the air. Because we usually don't fly, obviously, quite that fast. Well, yeah, that's what this flight's going to be about. So, with that, let's go ahead and move on over to the plane. Actually, everyone, before we actually go over that, I totally forgot to show FS Commander. As you can see, the wind here is basically a crosswind. So we're going to take off on runway 29. It's a heading of 296 degrees. And up here, Ashley Municipal. Let's see, we're going to land on, if you can actually zoom out here. You see the wind basically coming out of the south. So we're going to come up here, right into the traffic pattern, and then land on runway 14. That is a heading of 143 degrees. The altitude of the airport there is about 2,031 feet. So runway 14 it's not real long either. Let me make sure, KASY. That's about 4,300 feet long. So I guess not too bad for a King Air. But that's the plane. So now we can go ahead and move on over to the plane. Alright everybody, here we are in the plane. Let's take a look outside real quick. I gotta say, the King Air 350, like when I was using default planes back in the day, I think this was probably my favorite plane, just the default one. Because I really like the twin turboprops planes. So it's a nice plane. And Carenado did a pretty good job with it. And I've got that red up here. Sorry, but totally forgot to take that off because I was just making views for it a little while ago. So FSEconomy, let's go ahead and start this flight. Please remove 1,100 pounds. That's so stupid. Another one, it just doesn't get right. I don't know why. Alright, so part of this is probably going to take a little while. I still don't know where all the buttons are. I think some aren't even on here, like inverters. It starts talking about inverters. I can't find inverters anywhere on here. So it may take a little while. If you want to watch that, go ahead. Always put the takeoff and approach times, so if you want to skip ahead, it's fine by me. But we'll kind of roll through some of this. Alright. So, fuel is in cutoff. The condition levers, I should say. Battery bus, we're going to put that in norm. Alright, now let's go up top. I don't actually have a view for up top. So let's go over here. Now, battery position, we'll move over here. It says 23 minimum. And see, I can't even get it to come on unless I actually turn the battery on. It doesn't say to do that, but when I turn the battery on, it starts to come on. And you'll see at 23, we actually don't get the 23. All other positions off except for external power, which is obviously if you have it on external power, you'd have power. But see, even at external power, it doesn't have that. So let me come back down here to the cockpit. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off, by the way. Well, I'll turn that back on. See, I don't know why it doesn't say to turn that on, because you got to check the fuel quantity. Alright, I don't remember the exact pounds. I was about 69%, so I'm going to say that's actually should look pretty good right there. Now, I don't know why it switches this around like that, but then it goes back to the voltmeter. It says triple feed 22. And when you go to bat, it clicks back over to that 22 minimum. Obviously, we don't get that. Again, I don't know why. Right generator and left generator are both at 0. CTR center, we get 23 volts minimum. Obviously, we don't get that again. And external power, it says manual close. Or no, external power 0 volts. That's true. Alright, come over here. Generator ties, manual close. So put that right there. Voltmeter, right generator and left generator, we should get 23 volts now. And we don't. I don't know why, but that's what it says. Like I say, I don't quite understand some of this crap. It doesn't obviously doesn't all work. Flaps, if desired, you can go ahead and check them. It does request that you move them. Make sure that they work, so we'll put them all the way down. Alright, and now I'm going to go ahead. They did stop it down, so now we'll bring them back up. Before starting, we don't care about the doors and the seat tables and all that. Parking brake, we will confirm that that is set. It is set. We're not going to worry about the oxygen. Fuel panel, let's check that. Standby pumps need to be off. Sorry about these views, suck, man. There's so many of them. Standby pumps are both off. Crossfeed is off. Let me make sure of that. Alright, it is off. Auxiliary transfer switches is an auto. Circuit breakers are all pushed in. Both sides are all pushed in. Alright, let's go. Battery bus, confirm normal. As you can see, it is in normal. Engine anti-ice, we're not going to worry about that. It says on in main. I'm not going to worry about the engine anti-ice right now. Landing gear relay circuit breaker, you can't actually push it, but it is in. And the landing gear control lever is down. Power console and pedestal check. Power levers are at idle, as you can see. Prop levers full forward. So we'll put those full forward. Condition levers, again, are in fuel cutoff. Not going to worry about oxygen. Now, you got co-pilot subpanel and instrument panel. To be honest, some of this doesn't seem to be on there. I'm going to ignore some of it. Like window defog, I did not see. Actually, window defog right here. That is off. Vent blower is an auto. I'm not sure which blower because we got a couple blowers over here. Yeah, I don't. So I'll go ahead and just skip that. Cabin temperature mode off. I think we've got off right here. Cabin temp mode off. Environmental bleed air is in low. Environmental bleed air. It's normal up there. Apparently it's only got 2 because it says normal, low, and auto, but alright, there we go. It did click. I guess I was missing it. So that is in low. Aft blower off. Electric heat is off. do believe, I was just looking at that. Electric heat is, I guess, off. So it's got electric heat right there. Aft heat as required. So all looks good. All the panel circuit breakers here on the right are all pushed in. Now it says battery on, so I don't understand why it should have been earlier. Annunciators, we can test that. Let's go up here. We can test that, that's good. Fuel system, we already checked. Fuel quantity, again, we've already checked. Pilot sub-panel landing gear control lights, you can't test those, I do believe. Actually, come down here. I'm not sure exactly how we test that. Hydraulic fluid sensor, you can't actually test it. It says it's supposed to be illuminated. As you can see, it's not, so I'm not sure exactly how you test that either. Alright, beacon is on. Copilot sub-panel, again, we're not going to mess with that. There are some tests that you can do over here. Let's see, cabin altitude warning test. That's the warning right there. Well, we turned it on and it, I guess it just came back. And nothing illuminated. Let me check out here. We zoom out a little bit where we get a warning on exterior panel or something. No, I didn't see anything. Cabin differential warning. Overspeed warning, stall and landing gear warning, and fire detector and extinguisher. It's like I said, we're not going to test all that. Some of this stuff, it seems like it doesn't even work. Alright, so generator ties is manual close. It seems like it should be on norm, but it says that. Prop area clear. Right ignition, we go ahead and click that on. We wait till 12%. You'll see it like creeps up to 12%. 11.8, it's right there by the way, 11.9. It says minimum of 12, so now we give it up to low idle. Right, ITT in 1 water, 1,000 degrees Celsius maximum. Right, oil pressure, we do have pressure, and it's in the green. And at 50% N1 or above, we can go ahead and click the starter off. Right generator, it says to put on reset and then on. You can't actually get up to reset, so I'm not quite sure how that works. Like I said, you can't get it on the reset. It says reset then on, right DC generator, left generator tie open, right generator tie open and extinguished. So doesn't that mean it would be on norm or open? I'm not quite sure. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm gonna put that in norm. And then you check for, let's see, 50% load or less. Alright. See, some of this just doesn't make sense to me. Alright, now we can go ahead and start the left engine. Again, we wait for 12% right here. And again, it will creep up to it. $11.9 and 12. Low idle. And we monitor, make sure it's 1,000 Celsius or less. Alright, left oil pressure. Right there, it is good, it is in the green. And at 50% when or above, we can go ahead and click the starter off. And now we actually... Sorry, that was supposed to go all the way up to high, and now we actually bring it back to low idle. Left and right prop RPM 1050 minimum. We're a little over that at 1100, so that's good. Now it says left prop pitch and right prop pitch illuminated. I couldn't get those illuminated at all, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Let's go ahead and turn on the left generator. As we cycle through, you can see we do have power. I want to make sure. See, external power is off, so I'm not sure quite sure how it was getting power anyway. And so the generators are set. I think these things are supposed to be off, so I just want to check it. Yeah, left bleed air, pitot heat, auto feather. Alright, so we haven't got through all that, so those generator switches look good. We'll skip a couple pages because we don't need engine clearing or hot start or anything like that. We didn't have that. So before taxi, let's check out the electrical system. Oh, inverters. It says checking on. I cannot find inverters on this thing. I know the King Air 200 has it, but I cannot find them here. So I guess we'll just skip inverters. Avionics master switch. We can go ahead and turn that on. Master panel, cockpit lights we don't need. Mic switches, I'm not going to worry about. Cabin lights, furnishings. Let's go prop sync on. Go ahead and turn that on. Exterior lights, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the nav light. I guess we can go ahead and turn on the recognition lights as well. I'm going to turn that on. Let's go ahead and reset our altimeter. Alright, I just did that. Flaps are up. Flight controls. I don't want to go cycle through all the views, so we'll do it right here. That looks good. Rudder pedals good. Alright, and now I guess we can go ahead and taxi on over to the runway. By the way, before we actually do that, this thing does have like an FMC. Let's go over here. Airport, we're at KOVL. We don't have like a bunch of legs or anything, and I don't have much experience in how to use the FMC on this plane. We're at KOVL. Let's go over to flight plan. Our destination is KASY. So we'll go ahead and put that. We don't have an alternate. And if you go like departures and arrivals, it doesn't even have like runways and stuff for either airport, because I was checking this out earlier. We don't actually have anything like that, and we just go over to legs and there you go. It tells you 197 nautical miles. Yeah, like some of this doesn't even work. Let me check one thing I just noticed down there. It seems like we should be able to use that. Oh, by the way, it started us on the runway. So technically we should have, I guess, some of our other lights on as well, like strobes and landing lights. Come on, thing. Sorry about the views. Landing lights, strobes, we'll put those on. And I need to get this off again, because we got more stuff to go through. Alright, avionics and radar, everything looks good. Pressurization. We're flying to the north, to the west mainly, so I don't know if we actually changed that right now or not. It says check is required and set. So I mean, we could change that. Let's say we're gonna go to, let's say 10,500, so we put this at what, 11.5? Alright, that's good right there. Autopilot, check everything is off. Yaw damper is off. Friction locks, I never mess with that. Flaps, check and set. I want to go ahead and put the flaps out. I'm just going to use 1 notch for takeoff. Not sure if you can even see it right there. There we go. Now it says overspeed, governors, and rudder boost check. Now I know rudder boost is probably already off, so I'll go ahead and turn the rudder boost on. And now it says low pitch stops and primary governors check. Those I believe are over here. I don't know exactly how to mess with those, so I guess we go ahead and turn them on, I'm guessing. Now low pitch stops and primary governors, auto feather checked. Let's go ahead and arm that. Make sure that, alright, so that's test, off, and armed. So that is now armed. Now it says instrument vacuum and device pressure. I do not know where that is. I couldn't find it. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that. Engine anti-ice. Let's go ahead and check this. Ice protection. I'm going to go ahead and put that at normal. Alright, stall warning and right and left pitot heats are now on. Bleeders are off. So that is good in the green. It's talking about the bleeders. I don't turn the bleeders usually until we're up in the air. Alright, so the icing protection all looks good. Transponder, I'm not exactly sure where the transponder is on this. I have to find that. Like I said, I can't find everything on here. Flaps confirmed set, environmental bleed air. Now it says set, it says outside or 10 Celsius above or whatever it is. We put it in low, so that is in low, so that's correct. Bleed airs as required. Like I said, I'm going to leave them off. Electric heat is off. So remember that was over here. So that's off. Aft blower, we don't care about interior lights as required as well. Generator load, it should be 30% or less. Come on. Let's come over here. So I believe that it does look good. It is below 30. So that looks good. It says battery ammeter check. Charge current 10 amps or less if required. We're over 10 amps. We're over. Yeah, we're good. Annunciators off or considered. They are all off. And so we're going to be ready for takeoff. We'll hold the brakes. We'll set our power. And then we'll release and then obviously rotate at the appropriate speed. So much to go through. Let's check one more thing. Now, it seems to me I thought prop sync was supposed to be off on takeoff and landing. I'm going to turn that on for a second. Alright. Holding the brakes. Bringing the power back. I'm trying to set it. It's kind of touchy there. It's a good thing we're holding them in because that is really touchy. Alright, off the brakes. Dead left, I tell you that. Airspeed is alive. Let's go ahead and rotate. Tap the brakes. We have positive rate, gears coming up. Trying to get that nose down. Good lord. She was pitching way up. I forgot to set the heading, by the way. That's my bad. And I think I need to recreate my view here in the cockpit because you can feel, I feel like I'm really sunk down in it now. At 125 knots, we can go ahead and retract the flaps. Yeah, I totally forgot about the daggone heading. Can we actually click the lights on? I like tested something. That was odd. Yeah, but I feel like I'm really sunk down now. I feel like I should be up around here. Maybe a little lower. Let's go ahead and turn the flight director, if I can get that flight director on. There it is on. Sorry, I'm having to fly with my left hand as I do this. There's the yaw damper. Let me get my heading set over here. Autopilot, it says the autopilot is on. I'm going to click it over to nav. Let's see if this thing actually works. Because you're not seeing any lights come on or anything. Let's set a vertical speed of 1,000. Let's set our cruising altitude. Alright, that's 10,000 right there. I thought I could use the small circle. Sorry about not being able to fly this thing all that freaking good. I'm really new to the plane. Alright, so I'm bringing back the thrust here. I think I might have it pulled back a little too much. Props are supposed to be at 1600 RPM. Actually, it's 1700. Hell, it didn't even tell us to do that. Oh my freaking god! This is really odd. It's leaving stuff out like that. Alright, so props are at 1600. Yeah, I don't like how it leaves stuff out like that. And it's got other stuff that you can't find in there. That's kind of odd. Let's check down here on what this says. I don't think that's going to say anything. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to get used to this thing. I don't know, it's a more advanced plane than what we usually fly. Usually, a bunch of them, you can pretty much just get up and jump in and fly. I guess technically with this, you can do some of that. The procedures are kind of long to go through, but you know, once you're flying it for a while, I guess it gets a lot easier. Alright, you can see the distance right here. KASY's 181 nautical miles away. Let me see if I can bring that up. It might be easier to see, even though the what do you call that? Opacity or whatever you want to call it. As you can see, we're at 181 nautical miles. Desired track of 292. We're actually at 289 right now. 180 nautical miles now. I'm not even sure if she's going to stop. I thought I could use the inside one to just go by 100 knots. While this one goes by, or not 1,000 feet, and the inside one went 100. I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, we'll get better as we fly it. Like I say, I haven't flown it and I don't even know how long. That's kind of nice. It does have a speed set. I'm not sure if I should use that or not, to be quite honest. Control it myself. So turn that off. Yeah, hopefully we get a little bit better at it. I mean, as you can see, it's an awesome plane to fly. And once we get used to it, it'll be a lot more fun. I'm gonna go over here. Find the bleed airs. There we go. So bleeders are on. We're at 9,400 feet. I'm not sure what we should put our props at during the cruise. There's extensive paperwork here for the cruise. It's not just all monitor and all that crap. Yeah, it has a bunch of information about what to do if you get icing and all that, icing conditions. Alright, so there's 10,000 feet. Like I said, I guess we can't get... 10,500. So leave it at 10,000 right there. We can go ahead and turn the landing lights off. I guess I could have already turned the taxi light off. Let's see if I can see it from here. Taxi light, there she is. And I guess I can leave this up. I'll make it a little bit smaller. That way everyone can kind of see the progress here. 169 nautical miles. Oh, you can't resize it? Is this going to be one where you have to go from the other side? Yeah, from the bottom. That makes no sense. I don't know if you all can see that. It's 168 nautical miles. Maybe I should have left it a little bit bigger. Everyone should be able to see that. 167 nautical miles. So I'm going to go ahead and speed it on up, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Alright, everybody, slowing it down. We're about 7 nautical miles out. I actually started our descent earlier, and then, so I slowed down the vertical speed, and now we're going to be too high, only 6 nautical miles out. Let's speed this up to about 1,200 feet a minute. So we're about 6,700 feet right now. There's KASY. I don't know how to move the range down on here. We'll have to figure that out. I'm sure it's one of these down here. By the way, the transponder is right here, and it's at 1,200 at altitude on. So that was good. 5 nautical miles out, and I don't see the airport anywhere. And here in a second, we will turn to a heading of about 323. By the way, we've been concentrating on this stuff so much. And concentrating on everything else. I didn't even... Oops. Think about this. Ashley Municipal, turn to the traffic, runway for landing. Runway 14, full stop landing, and that's our position.
Kilo Alpha Sierra, Yankee, traffic, Beach, Charlie, Golf, Lima, Foxtrot, Oscar is 3 miles east.
We're about 2.2 out. You can see it over here as well.
Runway 14.
Let's go over and switch this to heading mode. Come back just a little bit. We're a mile out. Let's go turn to a heading of 323. Increasing the speed, or I should say power. I'm not quite sure. I think that was actually the gear warning because I was so low on the... See, it is going to do it. Gear's coming down. Daggone thing. Scared the hell out of me. Man, everything is so quick now because we go at such a faster speed in this plane as well.
Foxtrot, Oscar is on downwind, runway 14.
We need to cut down on the power a lot here. That scared the absolute hell out of me. Let's go ahead and turn to the runway. Heading of about 143. And it takes forever to move this heading bug.
1,000.
1,000 above, that's exactly what we wanted. Actually, I believe we're slightly low now. We have to go find the runway now. This has been... The end of this is going to end up being quite bad. The end of this flight. Prop sync is off. Get everything set that I can think of. Full forward on the prop. Getting slightly low. The flaps out. I do have a feeling we're off to the right. Autopilot off. That yaw damper is off. I do think we're off to the right. I really don't like having to find airports. In the last episode we were using Navfly and got lost. Yeah, we have to get used to this plane. This is completely different from what I'm used to. Actually says we're about 3 miles out. The thing I don't like is not being able to move that range down there. 2.6 out. That better not be it right there. That's it. Okay, we're gonna have to go around. Let's go ahead and circle back. Yeah, everything happens so much quicker in this plane and everything. I'm gonna have to get used to that big time. Alright, more flaps coming down. Or should I say coming out? Kind of ballooned us up a little bit. And our VREF speed is going to be around 100 knots. As you can see, it's coming down. We're about at 113 right now. Just hope we didn't lose that frickin' airport. Knots, I gotta get back on the power. Sit up in my seat just a little bit. Now we have to find that thing again. Oh, these last couple episodes have been doozies, man, for me. Trying new stuff. There she is over there. Good Lord. Alright, we are at full flaps, by the way. This is not the way I wanted to make my approach to this airport in a new plane. Still high, by the way.
1,000.
We have that radio altimeter. We're still a little fast, but the speed's coming down. Get back on the power just a little bit. See, we're so high though. Alright, I'm gonna get back off the power. We're actually doing much better. We're actually able to get down a lot quicker than I thought we would.
400.
Maybe it won't be as bad a landing as I was thinking it was going to be.
300.
Back on the power just a little bit. Just help slow the descent.
100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Actually, it wasn't horrible. Thought we might need a little help there on the reversers. Well, actually, the landing wasn't bad. I don't know if there's any back there. Oh wow, I gotta get used to this. The landing actually wasn't bad, I do believe. Go ahead and turn her around here. It's just we need to learn the procedures a little more. so we can get through them. Because it's just being a little uncomfortable as well. I mean, that's why I wasn't using ATC or anything. I'm too busy trying to to do this. You know, we usually fly smaller, slower planes, so everything's happening quicker too. And then throw in the fact that you're a little uncomfortable and everything. Yeah, I'm actually surprised. As bad as the flying was, coming in too high and everything like that, the actual landing wasn't that bad. So yeah, we just gotta learn a little more about the plane. I think everything will actually be pretty good. And hopefully pretty soon, I think this might, I'm not sure if this is going to be the next plane or not. Maybe the King Air 200. I'm kind of trying to decide what I want to do. I don't want to move through all the twin-engine planes because there's so many. So we might just like skip up to this one after the Baron maybe. And if we're flying both of them, this and both, it might actually be pretty good for us. Landing lights are off. Strobes off. Parking brake on. We'll let FSEconomy grab it. Yeah, if we're flying this and here in Air Hauler 2, it should be pretty good. Did I turn that flight director off? Yes, I did. Alright, let's go ahead. FSEconomy already grabbed it, so let's go on ahead here. Like I said, I noticed a few things with the procedures that seem to be wrong. Or at least appeared to be wrong to me, leaving things out like the condition levers. It never really said to put it back to high again. Alright, I'm not going over to those pumps. I'm just gonna, that's the only parking space it has, so we'll put it right here. Just block everybody off, oh well. Alright, let's see here. By the way, it does have a procedure as well for the steep approach landing. It's actually one of these buttons right there, steep approach. We could have maybe hit that off. Although at the end it was actually pretty good, it wasn't that bad. Alright, so after landing, this isn't the shutdown checklist, I guess after landing, engine auto ignition comes off. Why did it come all the way down to that one? I'm gonna have to figure these views out as well. Engine auto ignition comes off. Engine anti-ice is still, it says on. Lights is required, so I'll leave those on. Transponder to standby. See, we got alt on. I'm not sure how to turn that off exactly. I'll have to look at all that. Flaps are up. Pressurization differential. I don't know how to do the pressurization. Check that differential. I should have reset that. Tag on it. Bleed air valves. Oh, and I got another yoke in the way. This all needs to be off. Off, and see. It says off, but it's actually, I guess we would have to put that in auto. Actually, Enviro is off, I'm sorry. Because there's two different kinds of bleed airs. So, I'll leave that in auto. Parking brake is set. Shutdown and securing, by the way. Parking brake set. Electric heat off. Let's see. Turn that off. Actually, that was way too long. Inverters off. Again, like I say, I can't find inverters here. Auto feather off. Exterior lights off. I'm going to go ahead and turn nav and recognition lights off. Leave beacon on. Vent blower auto. I think we've had that basically on auto the entire time. Oxygen strobes we don't worry about. Battery, it should be charged. That looks good to me. Turn that off. Let's see. Brake de-ice if installed last flight of the day, so we don't have to worry about that. ITT stabilize the minimum obtainable temperature for 1 minute. It's been about a minute, so that's good. Condition levers. Fuel cutoff. Prop goes to feather. Overhead panel switches are off. Battery and generator below 15% we can turn off. It doesn't say to turn that off, but I'll go ahead and turn that off as well. And then the rest, it just is actually talking about tie downs and stuff like that. It doesn't seem like they turned everything off. I'm not sure if those were supposed to be off yet or what. Taxi light I should have turned off. Pitot heat, it didn't talk about that. Stall warning heat. Beacon, now that everything is off. Avionics master switch, again, it didn't say anything about that. The only thing is, like, sometimes you rely on that stuff and it misses stuff. And then other stuff that's on the list, but we can't find on the plane. What is that? Fuel boost switch? Should we turn that off? Or, I mean, rudder boost. Yeah, just kind of some weird stuff. Overall, procedures obviously aren't that bad. Let's go over to FSEconomy and get ourselves paid. Alright everybody, so here we are, $9,999. We rented the plane for an hour and 12 minutes at $898 an hour. Cost us $1,088.82. Oh, actually went a little quicker than I thought. I was thinking a little less than 2 hours, but it was actually just over one, so that's good. Fuel, we used $420.53 of fuel. Ground crew fee, $999.90. Booking fee, $899.91. I figured we would get that because larger plane. So those expenses came to $2,320.34. We did get $375.92 though for the distance bonus. Getting closer to Australia, I guess. Over here in, was it North Dakota? Alright. Earnings this flight. By the way, I guess that is close. I was thinking, well, if it's clear in Australia, what if you go to the east? At some point, you're getting closer then. But I guess being over in North America, being in this way in the United States, I guess maybe the west is a little closer to Australia. Because that's how we would go. You go to Hawaii and then Australia, I guess. Or maybe you can go straight from LA, actually, to Australia nowadays. Anyway, earnings for the flight, $6,965.75. $365.75 to YT flyers makes no sense, and $6,600 me. Obviously, like as I always say, it goes straight over to the bank. So check the bank out here. $283 plus the $12,526 plus $48,357 plus $41,711. This is 143 grand. So we're almost halfway. Take one more flight to get us halfway to our $300,000 goal. Because I think, what was it we wanted? I don't know. I kind of wanted the Skymaster, but I'm not sure. I mean, because I want other people in the group to be able to fly it too. So you all need to have the plane. But if we wanted a Skymaster, I gotta mute my mic for 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Search for that. Yeah, 320. What the hell is MOS? Oh, it's up in Alaska. That's actually probably the closest one as well. Well, that one's in California, a little bit closer. It's also a lot more expensive. And that's the lowest on the engine time. It's got everything that we would want as well. So we have a little bit further to go, I guess, to get to half. Maybe 2 more flights and we'll be at half. 2 or 3. But other people have been flying too and helping out, so I thank you for that. If we can just keep that going, it shouldn't be too long until we can get another plane. And we don't have to get the Skymaster. If people want to tell me what planes they have, I guess that makes it more fun, so other people will be able to fly it too. Anyhow, I guess that's going to be it for this episode, everybody. I hope you all did enjoy it. I'll catch you guys on the next flight.
100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10,